News Radio 1029 KARN. And after I've been there a few years, I was there for 7 years and 3 months. After I've been there for a few years, every once in a while I get a call from somebody saying, you know, Doc, I've been listening to you since you first got here. First time I heard you, I'm thinking, well, they can run him off pretty quick, so I'm glad you're still around. I'm glad you're still around. So, what happened was, the CEO of Cumulus Media decided she was angry with people who hadn't gotten vaccinated and gave everybody who hadn't gotten vaccinated in the company across the country 2 months. So I knew my last day was going to be October 8th, and some friends of mine financially invested for me to do a 5-day-a-week podcast at DocWashburnShow.com, and that's what I started doing October 12th of last year. And we got some advertisers, we made some money, we were just rolling along, and I never, ever had any idea or any desire to run for office. Whenever people say, oh, you ought to run for something, no, you got the wrong guy. I'm not cut out for that. I'm a talk show host. I interview the politicians. I'm not going to be one. So, when Sarah Huckabee Sanders went on her Facebook page, late January, early February, something like that, and endorsed Senator Bozeman and Representative French Hill for re-election, and you've already heard the problems with them. I don't have to go into that. And got hundreds of negative responses. Like about 99% negative, and that's not hyperbole. I don't mean 85 or 90%, because I counted the responses on the French Hill post. My phone started ringing. People wanted me around for governor. I said, oh, no, you got the wrong guy. I'm sorry, I'm not cut out for that. And then my friend Jan Morgan called, and she said, look, you don't understand what's going on. We're about to lose our country. Good people like you need to stand up and run for office. You need to talk to your wife and pray about it. Well, that just got to hit me like a ton of bricks. You tell a Christian to talk to his wife and pray about something. What am I supposed to do? Say no? So I said, okay, Jan, all right. I'll talk to my wife and pray about it. So I did, and we did, and she said, honey, this is way over my head. I trust your judgment. But I knew you can't just decide to do something like that on your own. And I knew the Proverbs talk about the importance of wise counsel. And there's a proverb that says there's wisdom in the abundance of counsel. So, phone call with Jan was Sunday, February 6th. 24 hours later, I met with 10 or 11 people in the conference room of a church in North Little Rock. And Jan was one of them. As a matter of fact, she contacted me when I said, I'm trying to get some people together because I need some advice. Wisdom, the abundance of counselors. She said, look, this is so important to me, I'm going to rearrange my schedule. I'll be there. Thank you. Appreciate that. The two main questions I remember. One was, if you decide to run for governor, is this just a publicity stunt to let people know where you are? Is this just a publicity stunt to let people know where you are now that since you're not on the radio, people wondering, you got this podcast, .com. Or, check, that sounds even better. Or, would you actually be trying to win the race? I said, no, if I get in, it's to win. This is not publicity stunt. This is for real. You don't goof around with something like that. The other question, what would your top priority be if you ran for governor? I said, glorify God, because it's written we're supposed to glorify God. And when I said that, Jan said, that's what I'm waiting to hear. So after 2.5 hours, and this is kind of different for me, I tried to do more listening than talking, kind of different. After 2.5 hours, it was unanimous, people saying, look, we hope you do this. We think you should do this. So my wife and I kept on praying. I was already scheduled to speak the next evening, Tuesday, February 8th, to the Saline County Republican Women's Club. And I told them what I thought it meant. That Sarah endorsed John Bozeman for re-election, she endorsed French Hill for re-election, got all those hundreds of negative comments, ignored them, and when Asa Hutchinson endorsed her, she talked about what a good job he'd been doing, and the fact there were so many comments on her Facebook post saying, why won't you answer any questions? Why won't you talk about issues? Now, the one question I've been told she did answer Okay, she's against government vaccine mandates. Great. But I've been told she has told several people that I've met she doesn't have a problem with Walmart mandating vaccines for home office or Tyson mandating vaccines because that's free market, that's capitalism. No. There's an Arkansas statute passed in 2017 that says Arkansas citizens have the right to make their own medical decisions. Now, interestingly enough, the context of it was about advanced directives, living wills, but it's there. I mean, there's nothing there saying what the criminal penalty will be if an employer tries to override that, because that wasn't really the reason they did it, but it is there in black and white. Arkansas citizens, it's like the state code 20-06, something like that. Arkansas citizens have the right to make their own medical decisions. We need to strengthen that. We need to be proud. Anyway, so I told these ladies at the Saline County Republican Women's Club what I thought all that meant, that she was that out of touch, who she was endorsing, who she was saying did a great job. I said, look, it costs $15,000 to file to run for governor as a Republican, and I don't have the $15,000. However, if the Lord provides the money, I will file. I'm running for governor. And my next line is going to be, what do y'all think? But they're already applauding and started contributing that evening. One lady said, my husband and I want to contribute $5,000 to your campaign. I'm like, wow. Because I didn't know what the limit was. I had to find out. $2,900 is the most you could give to a candidate in the primary as an individual, and then $2,900 is the most you could give as a candidate in the election. So 3 days later, I had 2 checks for $2,500 each in the mail. I'm like, what's going on here? So the Lord did provide the $15,000. I did file in that 1 week window. And I'm excited because everywhere I go, people are responding positively to my message. The thing I said about Sarah is, there's an old Spanish proverb, show me who you walk with, and I'll show you who you are. And she walks with the rhinos. I don't think Republican primary voters in Arkansas want a third Asa Hutchinson term. I don't think they want the status quo. Now, my motto is do unto others as you have them do unto you. Now, we have an agency called the DCFS, Division of Children and Family Services, under the Department of Human Services. On a regular basis, they take children away from parents who love them. Sometimes it takes months to get the children back. Sometimes it takes years to get the children back. Sometimes they don't get the children back. That's outrageous. First of all, if you elect me governor, every child welfare worker will be required to wear a body cam, just like law enforcement is, when they're dealing with parents and children. Thank you. And they will be required to give parents their Miranda rights, and I will order them to stop trying to force their way into people's homes without a warrant, because the parents don't know what the rights are. Because they do that. I was talking to Sheriff Lonoke County a few weeks ago after a campaign appearance at Cabot, Crossroads Cafe over there. He said a little while back, TCFS called and said, I need a couple of deputies because we're going to take 4 children away from the parents. And the sheriff said, you got a warrant? TCFS is like, what? Warrant, probable cause, Constitution, say it with me. Do these words mean anything to you? This is what we have to operate under. TCFS is like, huh? I wish all 75 sheriffs agree. But not all of them do. I know one Garland County does, because my friends at Stanley's down there had their kids taken away in 2015. 7 minor homeschool children, took them months to get them back. Even though DCFS said there's no abuse here, because the doctor looked at all 7 children, the first time they'd ever been looked at by a doctor. But Kathleen Finnegan, the investigator for Crimes Against Children Division of the Arkansas State Police, told the Garland County deputy, look, we got to take these kids anyway. Because DCFS, after 5 hours, like, okay folks, sorry about that, we'll be taken off. No. Crimes Against Children Division investigator Kathleen Finnegan said, we got to take these kids. You got to call Sheriff McCord. Okay, call Sheriff McCord. Okay, take the kids. Took them months to get it back. Now, a few months later, Governor Hutchinson's wife went down to Hot Springs for a benefit luncheon at the Children's Advocacy Center and gave that investigator, Kathleen Finnegan, the Superhero of the Year award. Do unto others as you have them do unto you. That's not how our child welfare system works. We're, by the way, the only state in the country that has duplicate agencies. The only one of the 50. We got DCFS over here under Department of Human Services. We got Crimes Against Children Division over here under Arkansas State Police. Why is it so important to have both of those? The other 49 states don't. What makes us special that we need that? I don't know. I know for months and months and months, our Attorney General, Leslie Rutledge, ran public service announcements on television saying 1 out of every 5 children in Arkansas is subject to abuse and neglect. I don't believe that. I mean, she may believe it because that's what she was told, but I don't believe that. Do unto others as you have them do unto you. We have horror stories, nursing homes, every once in a while it gets in the TV news. Somebody sent me one from Northwest Arkansas from 2 or 3 years ago. Lady in her 50s had some surgery done, had to go to a nursing home to recuperate. That was the plan. She went from bad to worse. Paramedics had called a couple of weeks later, pulled out the cover, she had ants all over her body. We have a state agency, the Office of Long-Term Care. And by law, they're supposed to inspect nursing homes on a regular basis. I've had too many people that have worked in that industry tell me they don't. They'll show up, however often they're supposed to show up. Sign a piece of paper, shake hands with the manager, and take off. No. If you elect me governor on day 1, I will sign the executive order ordering the Office of Long-Term Care to enforce the law. Do unto others as you have them do unto you. And I'm told that you don't really have to have much of a background check to get hired to work in a nursing home. That's got to change. I'm going to talk to some legislators. We're going to change that law. We just can't hire people who don't see people old enough to be their grandparents as human beings. We can't allow that. We have to take care of people who are defenseless. You know, it's an outrage that murder is against the law, except for unborn babies. That's an outrage. Now, thank you. I don't know what the U.S. Supreme Court's going to do at the end of the term in June. I hope they're going to do the right thing and overturn Roe. I'm told that if they do, there's a trigger bill that will outlaw abortion in Arkansas. But I'm also told by pro-lifers that it's not nearly strong enough. If you believe life begins at conception, it's not going to outlaw you at 46. So we're going to strengthen that too. There's a lot we need to do. I got a friend named Mark Diggs. He's got a nonprofit called Veterans Villages of America. And on a regular basis, he hears from veterans who are homeless. Well, veterans have a hard time scraping together money for groceries. Veterans about to lose the place where they live and all kinds of different situations. And he helps them. His organization helps them. He's got a big old warehouse in North Little Rock, and they give veterans and their families clothes and furniture and all kinds of stuff. But the heartbreaking thing is, these veterans don't realize they are entitled to federal benefits for risking their lives for us, for putting on uniform. Now, every county in the state has an office that's supposed to be coordinating with them. But in all too many situations, annual budget for that office would be like $12,000 or something, and there's not enough to do anything. I don't know, how many county judges have their brother-in-laws, in charge of the office, but there's no money there. That's crazy. I will put my staff on coordinating with the county judges and coordinating with nonprofits like Veterans Villages of America to make sure the veterans find out what their rights are and we take care of them. Thank you. Do unto others as you have them do unto you. I'm sorry, you got the other microphone. Did you want to say something? Oh. Just, we wrap it up 3 seconds. Okay. All right, we're going to wrap it up. Real school choice. Let the money follow the children. Not the failing government schools. Put the curriculum online. so parents can know what their kids are being taught. But if you got real school choice, that's the only way the government school is going to have any incentive to stop indoctrinating our children in worldviews that we find anathema. Competition. Competition. And one last thing. There's still a Second Amendment to the Constitution. Your right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. And there's still a 10th Amendment. Anything the Constitution, U.S. Constitution doesn't say specifically the U.S. government gets to do, those rights stay with the states and or the citizens. And I might be the first governor ever, I don't know, in this state, definitely the first one in a long time. If I get elected, I'm going to push back. Because the 10th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution means what it says, and the Second Amendment means what it says. I'm going to ask Senator Gary Stubblefield to refile the Arkansas Sovereignty Act, making it illegal for Arkansas law enforcement to cooperate with federal agents trying to enforce unconstitutional federal mandates. I appreciate y'all. The website is elect.washburn.com. If y'all want to help us out, either financially or voluntarily, elect.washburn.com. Thank you.
We got Leon Jones Jr. here, who's Bristol County General. I don't know who wants to say he can look good. So please, if you got time, if you don't mind, just give Mr. Jones an opportunity to give his spiel too. If anybody's got a question or two for Doc, we can answer it real quick, but he's been
this young lady has a question.
Do you support
Absolutely. 100% support open carry. Absolutely. As a matter of fact, the governors of Arkansas had endorsed me a while back. Absolutely. I appreciate that. People used to think concealed carry was like, you're being sneaky. How come you're not open carry? But that was earlier generations, a long time ago.
You didn't speak very much on your stance on abortion. I know that you are pro-life, but will you fight to outlaw 100% in every single situation?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Surgeon General C. Everett Coote said he was a pediatrician for 40 years. He never saw a case where you got to abort the baby to save the woman's life. Because people have all kinds of exceptions, rape and incest and all kinds of different things. The baby's still a baby. The baby can't help how it's conceived. You want to punish the father, great. Don't punish the baby. Sorry, you had one.